can text them. That'd be super cool. All right, we're going to get started. It is recording. Remember to stay on mute. Raise your hand. I would like everyone to participate at least once. Even if you get the answer wrong, you will still get your participation points. As long as you guys participate, the lowest grade you can get in my class is a 60, which is an E, it's failing, but that's if you just participate and do nothing else. You will still at least get an E and not a 0. But if you don't participate and don't do the work, that's when you get a 0, just so you know. And I just letting you know a 60 is way better than a 0. So again, if you have looked at your grades, because I've posted everything, if you've looked under packets, because you're one of those people, you'll see your grade. If you're under packets and you see, I don't know if you can see everybody else. I don't think you can. Maybe you can, I don't know. But if you have a 60 on anything, that means you did nothing, but you at least tried, or you at least participated in class. I tried my best to give out 60s. But if you didn't participate that specific day or didn't do anything, then you got a 0. So as long as you participate, you get 60 points. Just so everybody knows. Draven, what's your question real quick, and then we're gonna get started.
I can't see my grades.
Did you go under classwork and click on each assignment?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, sorry. You can't, yours is under packets.
Yeah.
So under packets, you and like 5 other students should have your grades in there.
I can't see mine. It just says it's graded.
Okay, I'll walk through that after today's lesson. For those of you that can't access it, I'll show you. But we'll have to do that at the end of class. So for now, let's go ahead and just get started on our actual lesson. And there are 13 of you. So we need all 13 people to participate, even if you get it wrong. Again, participating, super important. Okay, so anybody else, try and save your questions for the end, because we do have to get started. All right. Oh, let me hit OK. Perfect. And let me move this so I can make that big. Boom. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. All right. If your hand is up, please forgive me, but we are not. Oh, no. Sorry. I paused for a second. We will do questions at the end. All right. We are already 10 minutes behind. Okay. So let's get started. All right. There are, I think, 15 questions, and there's 15 questions, and there's 13 of you last time I checked. So everyone will get to answer one question at least. Again, the first questions are usually the easier ones, so I suggest participating early on. That's just my opinion, because if you wait too long, you'll probably get a hard one. All right, we are adding 2 like fractions. All right, we have 2 over 9 plus 5 over 9. What does that equal? Right, I am looking for raised hands or clapping emojis if you can't raise your hand. All right, I will call on a few of you, not a lot, but a few. Draven.
It'll be C.
It'll be C, so he, oh, Portia's right there. All right, so he thinks it's C. Let me test his theory. All right, I have 2 over 9. Come on, pen. In case you guys have ever tried, it is kind of hard to draw, but whatever. All right, since the common denominator is already there. Oh, Anwar, who's the other one? We actually keep the denominator, and then you just add the top. So Draven is correct. Good job. All right, we got to do that because the denominator was the same. We might not always get to do that, but we did this time, which is awesome. All right, I'm gonna scoot that up. Okie doke. State whether the fraction 2/3 is closer to 0, 1.5, or 1. I'm so mad they give you this because the answer's so easy. I wish you didn't get to see this, but that's just my opinion. All right, so hopefully I see a lot of hands. Again, I do not check the chat box when class is going on because there are too many of us. Anusha.
Zero.
You think it's closest to 0?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Double check
I
your
mean
line.
one. I mean one.
Are you sure? Double check your line.
Mm,
So, and just so you know,
one. One half.
yes. See, guys, that's, oh, will it not let me draw anymore? Oh, there we go, duh. So guys, again, that's all it takes is just a little bit of participation, even if you're wrong the first time. Anusha, if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to participate anymore. She got her participation for today. You know what I mean? I just need everyone to do it at least once. Okay, but yes, it is 1.5 because we are 1 away here. For this one, we're 1, 2, 3, 4 away here. And on this one, we're 1, 2, 2. We're 2 away. Since 1 is the smallest, it is 1.5. All right? So, yes, it is 1.5. Right? Good. Next one. Find 1/7 plus 3/7. We have common denominators again, so I should hopefully see a lot of hands. Stella.
B.
B. Let's test and see if she's right. Since I have a common denominator, I know my denominator will be 7. Oh my gosh, my pen does not like me today. All right, so I can just add the top, which is a 4, 4/7. Boom, Stella is correct. Awesome. All right, write the difference in simplest form. So it not only wants us to subtract, it also wants us to simplify. All right, wants us to simplify. Nitika.
D.
She thinks it's D. Let's double check. So common denominator, I get to keep the 10. So far she's right. And then 8 minus 4 is 4. So it is 4/10. But do we stop there? So for this specific question, no. So normally Natika would be 100% right. However, it does ask us for simplest form. If it didn't ask, then Natika would be right 100%. But since we can simplify it, we can turn this into a 2 and then turn that into a 5. That makes the fraction smaller. Remember, when we simplify, we are simply making the fraction smaller by usually dividing by a number they have in common. Since 10 can be divided by 2 and 4 can be divided by 2, I made it this. So the answer actually is going to be B. So Natika, you are not wrong because you had the exact fraction. Just for this one though, it did say simplest form. So all we had to do is simplify. So Natika, again, you are not wrong, but just make sure, this is for everyone. When it says simplest form, make sure you try and simplify it because if you can, it's going to be that answer. But if you can't simplify it, that's fine. Then Natika 100% would have been right. All right, not bad. All right, next one. Fractions that have different denominators are called blank. Fractions that have different denominators are called blank. Oh my gosh, I can't draw today. Are called blank. There are so many hands up. Wow. Kabir.
B.
He thinks it's B, right? Fractions that have different denominators are called equivalent fractions. All right. Erase those. So again, thank you, Kabir, for participating. I appreciate that. I would like to remind or just double check him for a second. If I have two different fractions with two different denominators, like it's saying 4/5 and 3/6, they are definitely not common. So that's good because they would be common fractions. They had, or no, they would be like fractions. Common fractions are things that we would commonly see or commonly use. Equivalent means that they can equal the same. So like 3/6 is the same thing as 6/12 because all we did was do this times 2 and times 2. That's equivalent, okay? So fractions that have different denominators for sure could be called equivalent fractions because these are technically different denominators. So that could be the same, all right? Or it could be unlike, all right? Or it could be unlike. Just so we're all aware, unlike is like this one. 4/5 and 3/6 have nothing in common. They are not like each other at all, all right? So I'm personally going to pick unlike fractions because it wants us to know different denominators. If it said something like fractions that equal the same percent or equal the same decimal, then it would be equivalent fractions. All right, just keep that in mind. But again, technically Kabir was on the right track because they can be equivalent and also have different denominators. But again, the specific definition for equivalent fractions would be something like when the fractions look different but equal the same thing. Just so we're all aware. All right. This one, told you guys these are going to get a little bit harder because this is not common denominators. Not common denominators, but it wants us to add them. Wants us to add them, right? Who thinks they can help me with this one? Again, they're not common denominators, so we cannot just simply add. We can't just simply add across, all right? Again, I want to try and call on someone who has not gone yet. Anwar. Oh, Anwar, if your microphone's not working, you are allowed to use the group chat. Keep in mind, the group chat is used for math or science only. Portia telling us that she was sorry for being late, that's fine. You know, Kabir saying okay to my question is fine. But
Hello?
we do not need to be sending messages about texting or snapping, okay? We're not doing that.
Can you hear me?
Anwar, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So what you're gonna do is that so we know that we cannot just simply just add it, right?
Right, we cannot simply
we
add.
So first we gotta go with the top 11 plus 1 is 12. So guess we do that one first, or
Close. Whenever we're dealing with fractions where the denominator's not the same, we need to first make the denominator the same.
oh, so first you have to start with 20 plus 4, which is 24.
Right? You're getting closer. So remember, we only speak if you raised your hand. Anwar should be the only one talking right now. The only one. I'm unaware. I'm unsure who is singing. You need to stop. If you get kicked out of class, I will gladly let your parents or Principal Ben know that it was because you are unable to follow the 3 simple rules that I have. Stay on mute, raise your hand, respect our classmates. Singing off of mute is not doing any of those, and that is unacceptable.
My screen is starting to get too bright.
All right, Anwar. You're the only one that's allowed to speak because it is your turn. I do apologize about your screen. So Anwar, I'm going to walk you through this. So since 20 and 4 are not the same and we need to get them to the same, what I like to do first is figure out what number do those two have in common. All right? So when I do multiples of 20, I can go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 4 can go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Now I'm going to see if those have anything in common yet. If not, I have to keep going. Boom. They both have 20 in common, which means I know my common denominator can be 20 now. But I have to turn this 4 into a 20. How do I do that? I multiply by 5, the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom. All right? So to do that, this is now 20, so I can keep my denominator here. And now this, 1 times 5, this becomes a 5, which makes this a 20 as well. So now Anwar, what is 11 plus 5?
11 plus 5, it's going to be 16 right now.
16 is correct. All right, so guys, this is the answer, 16 over 20. But I
It
don't
does not
see that,
say right there.
I don't see that answer over here, which means we need to simplify. So to do that, the easiest way to do it, because they're both even, is to just divide by 2 first. So Anwar, do you know what half of 16 is? Or 16 divided by 2? Right? That's okay if you don't. So for those of us trying to help them out, half of 16 is 8, and then half of 20 is 10. Do I see 8 over 10? I do not, so I can keep going. So half of 8 is 4, and then half of 10 is 5. Do I see 4/5? Yes, which means that is my answer. All right, so I can erase this. Good job, Anwar. Thank you for all your help. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, guys, we are finding the difference. We are subtracting. And again, the denominators are not the same, so we will have to do that first. So I need to figure out who is willing to help me do that. All right, let's do a Crete.
Wait, what?
Your hand was up. So are you willing to?
No, I just put it down.
Okay, it was up when I called on you. All right, so that's fine. Just go back on mute then.
I
Guys,
was just trying to answer one of the first ones.
that's okay. Make sure you put your hand down then, because then I'm going to think you're still here. And that goes for everyone. I see about 8 hands up. So if you don't think you can answer this, go ahead and put your hand down. You should put your hand down after every question, by the way, just in case something like this happens. So when I call on you, I don't want to call on people who aren't ready. All right? All right. Portia.
Hold on.
That's fine. You can say the steps.
Isn't it 5 minus 2 first?
No, we can't do that because they're not common denominators yet. So we need to do a common denominator first. Do you remember how to do that?
No.
That's okay. So the first thing we do is figure out what number do they have in common. All right, if I'm doing multiples of 5, I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, blah, blah, blah. And I can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, blah, blah, blah. So Portia, so far, do they have any numbers in common in their list?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't get this at all.
That's okay. Hey, at least you tried and you participated. I appreciate that. Let us see if someone else can maybe help us out a little. Alexis.
So wouldn't it would be 10, right?
It would be 10 because they both have a 10 in common. They both have a 10 in common. So to get that, we have to do 2 times 5 and then 5 times 2. We do that on the top as well.
Yeah.
Right? Good. Which gives
And
us, which gives us 5 over 10 minus 2 over 10. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just erase all this real quick. Okay, since we have a common denominator, it stays 10. Even though we're subtracting, it stays 10.
wouldn't
So
it
now we just-
stay 8?
yes, so now we just do 5 minus 2, which is 3. Good job.
I already
Alexis,
knew that. I was going to say C anyways because I didn't have to do that. But
that's okay. No, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to, I just like to go through the whole thing just for everybody because common denominators isn't easy for everyone. So I like to make sure everyone gets a chance to understand it. All right? This one says, question 8, find the difference. What does difference mean, Jay? Jay, you're still on mute. Okay, Jay, you froze, so I'm gonna keep going to someone else. See a lot of hands from people who have already went. Philmon, you haven't gone yet.
No, I haven't.
So what does difference mean?
Not the same.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, they're not the same, but what am I going to do? Am I going to add, subtract, divide, or multiply?
Add,
Close.
multiply, minus.
You're getting colder. There you go. Minus. Yes. So we're going to do 6, 7 minus 3 over 4. Right? Boom. Okay. So we did that. Philmon, do you know how to figure out what our common denominator is?
Yeah.
What do I do?
You do 7 times 4 by the bottom.
You can do that. Yeah. So
And
guys,
then-
that's also a very easy way. You can just do straight up 4 times 7 because whatever the answer is, they clearly have that number in common. So when we do 7 times 4, we get, anybody know? Philmon, do you know?
Yeah.
What is it?
28.
Yes, we get 28. So we already know that our denominator is going to be 28 now. All right.
Yeah.
So for 7 to get there, we had to do this side times 4. We had to do this side times 7, right? So now we need to figure out what is 6 times 4 and then 3 times 7. So Philmon, do you know what 6 times 4 is?
Yeah, 24.
Yes. Oh, look at you. All right. And then do you know what 3 times 7 is?
28.
Nope, that would be 4.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
3 times 7?
18. No.
I am so sorry.
21.
Sister. I had to reboot everything.
21. Good job. Nope, you're fine. That's okay. Just make sure we stay on mute. 24 minus 21. Good. So, Philmon, what's 24 minus 21?
3.
3. So, guys, our answer is 3 over 28, which, if we look carefully, is one of our answers. Can we make this smaller?
Yes.
No.
Oh, no,
3,
no.
3 can go into 27 or 3 can go into 30, but it cannot go into 28. So we stay right here. Boom. Good job. Philmon, killing it, buddy. All right. I am about to check the chat, seeing as how I have 38 missed messages. When I click the chat and I realize that these are not emergencies, every student who has participated in a non-emergency chat room will be losing dojo points today. Let's find out who's losing points, because this is not okay. Niraj, you're losing points. There is no reason to say me 18 times. Raise your hand, I will get to you. That is unnecessary. Filmon, you don't need to do it either. Anwar, thank you, that's relatively class related. Niraj, unnecessary. If you guys put the answer once, that's one thing. If you say me once, that's one thing. To say me 18 times is unnecessary. To put the answer 5 times, unnecessary. Just because I don't pick people does not mean I do not like you. That means that there are 16 people in this class and everyone has to participate at least once. That is how I choose my people. Again, we do not use the group chat unless your microphone physically does not work. Do not put the answers in here, because then when I do call on someone who genuinely doesn't know, they're going to look at the chat for the answer, and then how am I, as their teacher, supposed to educate them and help them learn this problem? I can't. And then when they take a test, who's going to be there for them? No one, because this chat box won't exist during their test, so they're not going to get the answer for free, and then they're going to fail. And that is being a bad friend and a bad classmate. That is why we don't just put answers in the chat box, everyone. Jay says his microphone's broken. He can use the chat box because that's the only way he can communicate with me. That's different. I do not want to see the chat blowing up anymore unless your microphone is broken. Anybody else to use it whose microphone is not broken or for a non-school related reason is being kicked off of Zoom and being counted absent in today's class. That is final. I'm continuing. Jorge buys a pizza for $12.99. He also buys an order of cheese breadsticks for $7.80, less than the pizza. Thank you, Philmon, for apologizing. I forgive you. I appreciate that. Thank you for having the integrity to do that and not taking it personally. I'm not attacking any of you. I am simply telling you what the rules of the chat room are. Thank you, Philmon. You are fine. And I will not take points away from you, Philmon, because you did apologize, and I appreciate that. What is a reasonable estimate for the total cost of the pizza? Keyword, guys, here is estimate, all right? So we don't have to do it like perfectly, all right? We don't have to do it perfectly. Demaya, how do I estimate this?
I don't know. I just think I know the answer.
You said you sent the answer?
I think I know the answer. I
Oh,
don't
what do
know
you think the answer is then?
18?
You think it's 18? All right,
Yeah.
so let us test Demaya's theory. All right, if I round a pizza that's $12.99, can I safely assume that it's gonna be about $13?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's 1 penny away. That's 1 penny away from $13. So I can just say that's $13. All right. If he also buys cheesy bread for $7.80 less, I can round $7.80 to a whole number too. Demaya, can I turn $7.80 into $7 or $8?
8.
8, exactly. Because I'm only 20 cents away from $8. That's 2 dimes. That's nothing. All right. However, I'm like 3/4 and a nickel away from 7, so that one's too far away. So first, I'm gonna do 13 minus 8. Okay. I'm gonna do 13 minus 8. Okay. Easiest way to do this, because even if you cross off the 1 and give it, you still have to do 13 minus 8. You can just do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 5. All right. So I know the cheesy bread is about $5. 13 plus 5 is 18. So guess what? Demaya is 100% correct. Good job, Demaya. Awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, next. Estimate by rounding the mixed number to the nearest whole number. All right. This one's going to be a little bit hard because you are rounding a fraction to a whole number. As you know, our whole numbers are not fractions, so we can't do fractions, and we can't do decimals because that is not a whole number. Nope, I spelled decimals wrong. That's funny. So we can't do fractions or decimals, but this is a fraction. So how do we turn both of those into just a normal whole number? By rounding. Who thinks they know? Someone I haven't called on. Niraj.
Since there's like, I think the estimate would be, the answer would be 3.
Oh, you think that, okay, so you're going straight for the answer. Okay, so the one that has the answers 3 is B. So guys, let's test Niraj's theory. If I have 1 and then 3 over 10, that's basically 1.3. And if I have 2 and then 1 over 10, that's basically 2.1. Since these are both decimals under 0.4, I round down. I round down, which makes this 1 and makes this 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Boom, Niraj is correct. Good job, buddy. All right, so now I can erase these real quick. Okay, keep in mind, guys, rounding, as long as we remember, 0.4 or less, round down. 0.5 or more, round up. Okay, just in case we forgot. So that's what Niraj did, and that's how he got the right answer. Okay. All right, next one, find the sum. And this one we're not estimating. As you can see, we are not estimating. So how do I add mixed numbers? How do I add mixed numbers? Let me look for hands. I have not heard from Crete, Agni, Pooja, technically not Jay because it cut out. And I think that's it. So Agni, I see your hand. So Agni, how do I do this?
I think it's C.
All right, Agni thinks it's C. Let's test his theory. So I have 2 whole numbers. 1 plus 1 equals 2, so I can safely do that for now. And then I have 1/5 plus 1/5. All right, so since they're common denominators, my 5 stays. 1 plus 1 is 2, so my answer is 2. 2 over 5, is that what he said? Boom, that is what he said. Good job. All right, we have 4 more, and I'm pretty sure I have 4 people who haven't done anything, so that would be, let me just double check. But I haven't heard from Anwar, J, Pooja, Akrit, which means these last 4 are for you 4. All right, I have exactly 4, meaning if you are anybody else, you can go ahead and put your hand down because there are not enough questions today for us to participate a second time. There are exactly enough students to participate once. All right, exactly enough students to participate once. So for this upcoming question, I need Anwar, J, Pooja, or Akrit. I see Anwar's hand. Oh, wait, Anwar, didn't you already participate? Did you already participate? You did already participate. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I want to do it again, though.
Okay, that's fair. I already called on you, so yep, that's fine, buddy. Okay, well then help me do this one, question 12, and we just got to simplify it, okay? Sorry, just making sure. So it's this one. Okay, 1, 2 over 5, plus 2, 1 over 5. You said C? Okay, so guys, Anwar thinks it's C. Let's test it out. I have 2 whole numbers. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then my fractions are common denominators, so I know the denominator will be 5. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3, 3 over 5. Is that what he said? Boom. Go Anwar. All right. So yeah, it is 3, 3 over 5. Also, it says simplify. Fun fact, we cannot simplify this. So Anwar still is correct. Okay, so he is still correct. All right, I looked at it. We can't simplify because 3 and 5 have nothing in common. So unless you go up, but we don't want to go up. We want to simplify, which means we want to go down. So we can't. So Anwar's right. All right. If we had bigger numbers, we probably could simplify. All right, guys. We are on question 13, which is difference, subtract, and simplify. I need to hear from Akrit, Jay, or Pooja. I need everyone to participate at least once today. Akrit, Jay, or Pooja. Even if you get it wrong, I just need to know that you are here and you are not simply on Zoom while playing video games or on your phone or watching TV, since I can technically only see one person, and that's Alexis. So she's the only one I know for sure who is here, technically. But by participating, I know other people are here, which is why I ask you guys to participate. All right, Jay, yours is the only hand I see, so let's do this. Oh, Jay, you said your microphone doesn't work, so you are allowed to use the chat box. I totally forgot. Sorry, buddy. Jay, you said you think D? All right, guys, let's test Jay's theory. All right, he says he thinks it's D, so let me try it. So I have two whole numbers, 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, I have a common denominator, thankfully, which is 5. So far it's going to be 1 and then something over 5. And then 4 minus 2 is 2. Did he say 1, 2 over 5? Yes, he did. Jay, you are correct. Good job, buddy. All right. Last two. All right. Is 14 and 15. So we only have Pooja and Akrit left. Pooja, I see your hand. Do you want to try this one? Question 14.
I think A.
You think A? All right, let's test it out. Okay, we have 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1. Right now, that equals 2. Right now. But pay close attention. Then we have a common denominator, which is 5. But then we have 1 minus 4. That would be -3. Can we do that? No, we can't. That doesn't exist. We can't do that. So there's no way it's C. We know it's not C. It can't work that way. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? So this time, we're going to have to turn these back into mixed numbers and then subtract. And then go back. So this one's going to be a little bit harder, but it's going to be necessary. All right? Okay? So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to erase this, because this is a good review for everybody, okay? Again, Pooja picked A, so we're still going to test that. So remember, when we have a mixed number, to turn it back into an improper fraction, we times, then add. So 5 times 3 equals 15 plus 1 is 16 over 5. Okay. And now for this one, it's 1, 4 over 5. So I'm going to times, then plus 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9 over 5. So get all this scary stuff away. Okay, all I have to do now is do this. Oh, sorry. 16 over 5 minus 9 over 5. My common denominator is still 5, guys. So I just have to do 16 minus 9. 16 minus 9. And again, we couldn't, even if we borrow from here and make that, it's still 16 minus 9. So the best thing to do is just do it with your hand. You can do 16, 15, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So 7 is what I got. all right, which is 7/5, okay? So we don't have that as an answer, so we have to go back and turn it into a mixed number. We do that by 5 goes into 7 one time with 2 left over. Is that what Pooja said? Yes, it is. Good job, Pooja. All right? So guys, this one was a little bit harder, a little bit longer. If you know a shorter way than what Mr. Hughes showed you, you are totally welcome to do that. Like Pooja, she had the answer really fast, so she might know a faster way. So if you know a faster way, that's totally fine. But that's just that was the slower way, I guess. That's how I did it. But me and Pooja got the same answer, so good job. All right, Akrit, this one is for you. Even if you get it wrong, I need you to participate at least once. So, and to be honest, this one is so very easy. So Akrit, we have a fraction, 7/8 is closest to one of these three numbers. Which one? Look at the line chart and tell me. Right? Remember, we're right here. So we're either closest to this, closest to this, or closest to that. Akrit, what's the answer?
It's 1. It's close to 1.
It is. Good job. It is indeed 1. All right. Again, this line chart is right here. Boom, right there to 1. That's what is easy about this one.
1, Mr. Hughes.
Again, I wish that can I?
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
I'm not on my phone or anything. I'm just eating something like I'm just eating cereal because I can't eat anything like food right now.
You're fine. You're fine.
Still eat class, so yeah.
So guys, don't be surprised if you ever take a test and they give you this. Okay, not all of your questions will give you a line chart. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Today it did. It gave you a line chart twice, one in the first question and then this last one. But sometimes it doesn't always give you a line chart. All right. For those times where it does not give you a line chart, keep in mind the three numbers that we want to plot. Okay. So the easiest way to do that is to know 0 is the smallest, 1 is the biggest, and that makes 1.5 in the middle. Okay. And then we want to plot 7/8. All right. So then you would have to figure out, where does 7/8 go here? You know what I mean? For me to do that, the best way is to find, like a common denominator usually, and then do it. But I'm just letting you know, it will not always give you this. Okay. Just letting you know. Right. So keep in mind, sometimes you will have to do it yourself. So just be prepared for that. But let's go ahead and grade it. Okay. Boom, we got a 100. All right, we got them all right. You guys are amazing. Way to go. Stop sharing. Boom. All right, guys, I'm going to stop recording.